Alright everyone, in the first segment I went over circuit symbols, what the different symbols meant. In this segment I'm going to take a circuit diagram and I'm going to actually build a circuit from it. This is going to be a bit tricky because the circuits are kind of small and I'm going to have to position my camera in a different place from where I'm used to. Alright, so let me reposition the camera, let me get it where I like it, and I'll start talking. I'll put the circuit diagrams up on the screen as we're going so you guys can kind of follow along with what I'm doing. So I'll be back in a minute once I get the camera where I like it. Alright everyone, you can see my breadboard. Over here I have a 555 timer circuit. Here I have various resistors just laying around and various LEDs laying around. This circuit does work. We'll talk about it in a future video. But over here again, I just have various resistors laying around and various LEDs. They're just sitting there so I can grab them conveniently. What we're worried about right now though is the 4060 chip. So let's get a closer view of it. That's the 4060 chip right there. There we go. Okay, so my camera doesn't want to quite focus on it. There it is. Alright, you'll notice I have the chip lined up. Ooh, didn't mean to block the light. You notice I have the chip lined up so it's straddling this trench right here. And the reason the chip straddles that trench is that way this side deals with this set of pins, this side deals with this set of pins. Now I kind of have her backwards a little bit, but that's okay because most circuit diagrams should be aligned. So positives up across the top up here and negatives across the bottom down here. Alright? You'll notice I got a positive strip there and a negative strip there. But what you're not seeing is there's both a positive and negative up here. And I'm going to use it that way. Now, the way a breadboard works is everywhere where I have one pin lined up, say this pin right here, which is pin number 1, all the holes below pin number 1 are connected to pin number 1. All the holes below pin number 2 are connected to pin number 2, so on and so forth. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about with these pins, here's the layout of the pins right here on the screen. Okay? And I'm going to keep the circuit layouts over here as I'm working because I can do that. This is high definition. There's enough room in here to get that done with. So right now you can see the pin layout. I got my notch right here and pin 1 goes here and they go around in a counterclockwise fashion. Pin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Alright? So what I'm going to do now is change the circuit diagram to show you what we're trying to get to. Alright? So my next one up here shows the resistor and capacitor we're going to add. So I'm going to go ahead and skip on. Yep, the one that's right here shows the resistor and capacitor I'm going to add. So we'll go ahead and skip to the next one and show you the resistor. Alright? Now, I've also added the positive and negative, and this is a full circuit diagram. You can see we've got the positive at the top of the diagram up here, and we got the negative at the bottom of the diagram down here. Okay? And I'm going to keep that idea in mind as I build the circuit. But also notice something that says connect pins 14 and 15 with the resistor. Now, I'm going to use this resistor for this. Oops, I dropped something. I'm going to use this resistor for this. Use just one I grabbed at random from my supply of resistors. I have no idea what its resistance value is. And to be honest with you guys, that's irrelevant. Alright? Now, I'm going to connect it to pins 14 and 15 on the circuit on my breadboard. Alright? Now, I might have to move things a little bit to do so because this is a very awkward angle for me to work with. And I really can't see pins 14 and 15 right now from where I'm at. But I managed to do that just fine. Now, this is kind of awkward because, here, let's tilt it up a little bit so you guys can see I did connect it to pins 14 and 15. Now, this is kind of awkward for me because I'm such a weird angle on this to allow you guys to see what I'm doing. Alright? But you can see that's connected across the second pin over from the left end and the third pin over from the left end, just like it is in the circuit diagram. The next thing I need to do is put my capacitor in here. Alright? Now, this is the capacitor I'm using right here. I don't know the size of this capacitor. I have notes on it. I'll put the size of the capacitor in the link at the bottom of the video. All right. And I need to put this across pins 16 and 14. So I'm going to tilt this thing up a little bit so I can see it a little better and get it across pins 16 and 14. Now, one of the fun things here is I don't have to put this in the exact pins next to my chip. Okay? They can be up a little bit like they are right there. Just as long as they are not crossing that resistor, it'll be okay. And you can see I've got them in slightly different pinouts right now. Alright? Especially if I twist that resistor a little bit. You can see I've got that in pin 16 and 14 for the capacitor. Alright? Now, we check our circuit diagram again. You will notice, and we're on the final circuit diagram this time, one without any yellow lines. You'll notice that there is a cable that connects pins 8 to 13. So what I'm going to do to connect pins 8 through 13 is I'm just going to use a jumper here. Alright? Now, I just use the same color for all my wiring. Some people like different colors for different wires. You can buy those wire sets, but the guys at the electronics store said, just cut some wire and use it. You'll be happier that way. It'll be cheaper. And they were right, because the pre-cut wires are kind of a pain to use. So, pin 8 is this bottom corner down here, so I'm going to stick that wire in pin 8. And then I got to get it in pin 13, which is one pin over from the pin that has the resistor and the capacitor. Alright, and you can see that it's over one pin from where that is. And you're also going to notice that my wiring diagram on the breadboard doesn't match the wiring diagram I stick right back here. They don't match. Well, it doesn't matter that they match. What matters is that I have them set up correctly, that the wires go to the proper pins. When I go to build this circuit on perf board, it won't matter what it looks like as long as the wires connect the pins properly. Okay? Now, you notice on the circuit diagram we have a wire going from pin 9 to the positive out. Pin 9 is the one on this end. I'm going to put that all the way at the top. Okay? So I push that in my breadboard. I'm going to put that up to the positive up here. Alright? So now I've got that wire going from 9 to the positive. Alright? You also notice on the circuit diagram over here that we have a negative going from pin 8. So I'm going to take a negative, stick it in pin 8, and put it in the negative on my breadboard. Alright, so you can see it's in pin 8 down here, and you can see it's going into the negative on my breadboard. Alright? So what I've done now is I've built my first circuit. What I need to do now is stick a few LEDs in, and that's the fun part of this 4060 chip, which you will see in the next video, is I just stick LEDs wherever the heck I want in here, and it doesn't matter what pin to what pin, we're going to get blinking LEDs out of this. Okay? We'll stick a couple of jumpers in here, one to the positive. Alright, one to the negative. I'm going to hook her up to my power supply. So let me set her down real quick and do so and show you guys how this works. Alright? So, let me turn her on and see if I got everything set up right. Yeah, I'm using a bad resistor, so you will notice they blink for a little bit, but the resistance value is bad. But that's okay, because I'm going to change the resistor out real quick. Let me cut the power off. Oh, maybe I got a bad short. I got a short someplace. That's what's going on. Let's try that again. I got a bad resistance value, but you guys can see that she's blinking now. Okay? I just have a short in this someplace, and that's not surprising to me that that happened. Because I'm just really wiring this real quickly for you guys on the video. Let me fix it and show you how to fix it real quick. Pull that resistor. What I'm going to do instead is a potentiometer or rheostat. We're going to hook that in like it's supposed to be hooked in. Alright, this will allow me to vary the resistance from different values. Alright, now let's turn it back on. And there we go. Okay, this is great learning experience on video because I took some shortcuts I normally don't take. And my shortcuts are allowing shorts to occur. And that's where the problem is. We're shorting out the LEDs a little bit. We're not shorting them completely, we're shorting out the resistance in the capacitor. In fact, I just noticed the capacitor pulled itself out of its pinout. And that's where part of my problem is coming in. It's not in the proper hole. I also almost always use pliers to poke the capacitors in because the wires are pretty thin. And I didn't do it this time. So that capacitor probably didn't have a good connection in there, is what the problem is. Okay. And my rheostat, it's got good heavy wires, so it's going to go in there just properly. Now let's try that again. And of course my capacitor is shorted, so cut the voltage, because I'm rushing it again for the video. Now there's no short in the capacitor. And there we go. We got the blinking going. Alright. So you can tell it takes a little bit of patience and a little bit of fiddling with to get these things to work properly. But once you get it working, now the fun part is just sticking resistors in random holes on the chip to find out what it does. Okay? That's where the fun comes in. Alright? So I'll let you guys experiment with this for a little bit, but that's how you build the 4060 circuit. Alright? Now, I'll come back, I'll do the same thing when I do the 555. Alright? But I just want to start with a simple basic circuit and show you guys how it works. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Alright everyone, the first segment.
He wanted to jump to the table. It's just a little too far.
It almost looks like that. Tony?
Lovely patina that's a blonde color between which got the stripes. Handsome boy, and so well presented.
How old is he?
He's young. He's only 10 months old.
Oh my God.
You can have a fabulous bath. Structurally, it can be wonderful. You don't put it in the ring. It's looking, feeling like the top of the world. You know, the code, presentation.
We have started putting items throughout ways of messaging numbers.
All that plays a role into it. That's the exhibitor's part.
What is she want?
Let me stay.
Oh.